Hey everybody, welcome to the planetary moon of manifestation with the totem animal of the dog. This is the Star Traveler Synchronicity video for Noos-letter of the Foundation for the Law of Time, number 126. 126 is a good code because that's the code for the return of the people of Oma, and I'll put a link in the video description to a blog by Stephanie South so you can read more about that. This is Jacob Rhythmic Dragon here, Director of the Communications for the Foundation for the Law of Time. And this planetary moon, if you guys recall, if you've been watching these videos each moon for this year, back in the overtone moon, we had some pretty interesting radial planetary symmetry, or you could say like radial planet symmetry within the 28-day moon, where any moon, as we came to discover at that time, any moon that begins with a white world bridger or a yellow warrior, the whole moon will have a perfect radial symmetry of the planetary codes for each of the solar seals within the moon. So in order to illustrate, we're pretty low tech here. We don't have slides and stuff. We're just going to show you the almanac. So here, the very first day of this moon is White World Bridger. Now, in your almanac, and on lawoftime.org, you can see what the planet correspondences are for each of the solar seals. It's very easy to find that information. You could just even do a Google search, lawoftime.org, 13 Moon Calendar tutorial, or lawoftime.org, solar seal planets, all that stuff. You can really easily find this info. So the White World Bridger corresponds with the planet Mars, and that's the first day of the moon. Now, if you look way down here at the last day of the moon, that's a Red Skywalker day. Red Skywalker also corresponds to Mars. And you can see that this bottom corner, the last day of the moon, and the top corner, the first day of the moon, are perfect reflection, opposites of each other. That's what we call radial symmetry. That is symmetry that radiates out from a central point. And also within this moon, within a 28-day moon, any radial symmetry creates a sum of 29. So day 28 with day 1 is always 29. You know, day 4 with day 25 makes 29, right? So all these pairs that are opposite of each other are always going to be the same planet, this moon, which is pretty significant, a pretty interesting pattern. And so let's just dive into the cycles that are happening this moon. As always, in each moon, there's 3 wave spells that are represented. In this moon, there's the first 8 days of the moon represent the last 8 days of the red dragon wave spell. So you may know that a few days ago, we began a whole new 260-day spin, actually the 46th spin since the harmonic convergence, or say the first spin of the dream spell count back in 1987. So the first 8 days of this moon complete that red dragon wave spell, the first wave spell of the whole 260-day Zolkin. And that concludes on Kin 13, April 11th. And then after that, April 11th, on Dolly 8 of the planetary moon. The day after that is going to be Easter Sunday, April 12, 2020, and it's going to be Celi 9 of the planetary moon, Kin 14, White Magnetic Wizard. As you know, this is the White Magnetic Wizard year. So this is the galactic return of the beginning of the year. This is exactly 260 days from the first day of this year. And in fact, on that day, that's when at the Foundation for the Law of Time, at the event we held in Teotihuacan, Mexico, we conducted a meditation, a group meditation for bringing in the new highest timeline possible. And so it seems many shifts are happening, and it's very interesting. We had no idea when this was planned to be on the first day of the year on Magnetic Wizard. We had no idea that Easter was going to be exactly 260 days later, because as you might know, Easter's always floating because it's always the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. And so it's not always April 12th, for instance. But in the 13 moon calendar, April 12 is always 260 days from the very first day of the year. So it just so happened that Easter synchronized with that day. And so we have a perfect Easter resurrection of the first day of our very powerful event in Teotihuacan, Mexico. And I'll put another link in the video description to Stephanie South's blog about that event, which I think you'll find very interesting. So that day begins the White Wizard wave spell. That's the second wave spell of the 260 kin galactic spin. In fact, it's the second wave spell of the 52-day cycle, which is the red eastern castle of turning, the Court of Birth. Court of Birth started with the Red Dragon wave spell. Red Dragon is the power of birth, hence the Court of Birth. So the White Wizard wave spell is the second wave spell of the castle, and that in this moon we have all 13 days of the White Wizard wave spell. It concludes on kin 26, White Cosmic World Bridger. I'm just gonna make a little note here on the White Cosmic World Bridger, as a matter of fact. And that's going to be concluding on Celio 21 of the moon and on April 24th. The following day is begins the Blue Hand wave spell, the third wave spell of the spin. Blue Hand wave spell begins on Dali 22 of the moon and April 25th in the Gregorian calendar. So the three wave spells we have represented this moon are coded by the Red Dragon, the White Wizard, and the Blue Hand. So Red Dragon is the power of birth, nurture, being. White Wizard is timelessness, enchants, receptivity. And the third wave spell, the Blue Hand, is the power of knowing, accomplishment, and healing. So in this moon, the planetary moon, it seems really perfect for the situation we're all navigating together, where you have the Red Dragon, birth, nurturing, let's all nurture ourselves very thoroughly. Then you have the whole 13 days of the White Wizard wave spell of timelessness. So it's a great opportunity to explore timelessness, as many of us are not having to adhere to any sort of strict mechanical time schedule, as it were, during what's happening now on the planet. And then the last 7 days of the moon, the Blue Hand wave spell, the wave spell of healing. So I think that bodes really well for what we're all sharing in together, so that we can have the highest nurturing, timelessness, and healing for this planetary moon of manifestation. And that, I forgot to mention about the moon. In the planetary moon of manifestation, we ask ourselves, how do I perfect what I do? So maybe we can perfect our nurturing of ourselves and perfect our freedom to allow ourselves to go into timelessness and perfect our healing. So that's pretty good codes for the planetary moon. Some other codes that I always like to look at are our galactic activation portals and the Pakal-Votan clear signs. In this moon, there are only 2 galactic activation portals. They occur on the 15th day of the moon, Dali 15, on April 18th. The first one is kin 20, yellow resonant sun. That's the first yellow sun day of the whole 260-day spin. The first enlightenment, universal fire, and life code, coded by the resonant tone of attunement, channeling, and inspiring. So you have your yellow resonant sun galactic portal. And 2 days later is the second galactic activation portal this moon. That's on Gamma 17, April 20th, and that's kin 22, white solar wind. The white wind coded by the spirit, breath, communication, and the solar tone of intention, realizing, and pulsing, the white solar wind. And also, of course, the white solar wind is one of the key kin codes for the Palace of the Winds in Palenque, Mexico, where the Palace of the Winds has all over it the Ik, the Mayan Ik. Ik is Mayan for the wind seal, the Ik, and the tone 9 code of the Mayan term Bolan Ik, the Palace of the Winds. So that's the code for kin 22 galactic activation portal. And then within this moon, we also have three Pakal-Votan clear signs. So let's see what we have here. The Pakal-Votan clear signs also have a nice symmetry here, where the first one appears at the first day of the third moon, and the second one appears the last day of the first day of the third week, the third heptad, and then the second one appears the last day of the third heptad, and then finally the last one's in the very center of the fourth heptad. So we have very interesting symmetry in time there, where the first clear sign is the same as our first galactic activation portal, the yellow resonant sun, and the second clear sign is the white cosmic world bridger. And then finally, the white cosmic world bridger is also is also a very interesting code mentioned in the Telectanon prophecy of Pakal Votan, which you can also search lawoftime.org, Telectanon prophecy, and you can see the whole thing in full. The final Pakal Votan clear sign is the white self-existing dog, Kin 30, and that's going to be, yeah, bud? Is there something you'd like to say? Of course, we have the kids home because we're on stay-at-home order, and so they're having a lot of fun right now. He brought me his Tyrannosaurus Rex tail. So let's see here. What was I at? Oh yeah, so Kali 25 is the final Pakal Votan clear sign on April 28th. Kin 30, white self-existing dog. So those are our 3 Pakal Votan clear signs. Again, you can go to lawoftime.org/clear signs, CLEARSIGNS, to learn more about the clear signs. So that's our codes for this planetary moon. I also wanted to, if you've probably seen already that we have released the Uninscribed Initiation into the Heart of Time by Stephanie South. It's available in both paperback, hardcover, which turned out really beautiful, and it's also available as an ebook. And I believe we have a Kindle version coming soon. So if you haven't ordered that and you're interested, please do get a hold of a copy. It's an excellent story. There's not enough that could really be said about it. It's one of the most unique stories and say profound journeys. That's all true story as well. So hope you'll get a chance to check that out, and I wish you all the best for this planetary moon. Take very good care of yourselves, get lots of rest, do a lot of nurturing of yourselves and those whom you love, enjoy timelessness, and please let's all endeavor to reach the goal of planetary healing. See you guys next moon.